squid, mate.
Not bad, mate. We've only been here, what, 3 minutes?
Just had time, just set both rods down. This was the first rod in the water. I think it's just about out of all the rods.
Get some bang bangs, are we?
And get some nice bang bangs. A couple of really small bites, I was surprised, and then it absolutely took off 100 miles an hour.
You're going to put the head, mate. You don't want to pull hooks on him. I've been promising him a run out in the Western Port for a couple of months. And I told him I got those big fish last week. I said, mate, after that big blow, we've had a big blow this week, they're going to go. We spent the morning in Port Phillip when everyone else was catching pinkies. We spent the morning catching squid. We come out and put fresh, clear, suction cup squid on, and bang, first rod in the water.
That's a very nice feeling.
Oh yeah. You. Oh, it's a lovely red.
Look at that.
What PB for you? Oh, congratulations, mate.
Thanks, mate.
That's
fantastic.
How quick a response is that? What do you think of his spot?
Very impressed, mate. He said we'd do it.
There you go, he's 6 kilos. Yeah, he's 6 kilos. Beautiful fish. Tell you what, hooks are gettable out of it.
Do it. Let's release this baby. Fantastic. Beautiful fish. And the best thing, I'm going to try and release this fish now.
Yeah, let's get him going.
Look at that.
Well done, Nab. Straight down off that fin, behind this fin. So we go in, we lift the scale, and we put one scale and we go pop. You there coming out? He's got the bends basically.
Yeah.
He's brought up too deep like a scuba diver.
Too quick?
Now he'll be able to get his, that's his ballast. He'll be able to right himself now, so come around the front. Gills are pumping. It's just a matter of swimming him. And now you'll find he'll stay upright better, see? See, he wants to swim away. But I just want to make sure he swims away properly.
Still got nice bright colours.
Yeah, look, fins
Still
are up,
looks...
colours, he's looking healthy, mate.
Yep.
His gills are going, he'll be fine.
Yep. I hope so. This will be my biggest snapper release.
And there you go. 6 kilos snapper, 13 point, probably high 13 pounder. All it took was just to break the swim bladder, release the air that allows the fish to get his upright position. With the air entrapped underneath from bringing up from deep water, or from even medium deep water like this, wants to turn him over. Then we swim the fish, we get water flowing over the gills. Two signs to look for: spines are up, gills are pumping. Those two things are a good sign. He's breathing on his own and he's got life left in him. And it was just a matter of time till he just got his feet, so to speak, and off he swam, as you just saw. What a fantastic feeling. Congratulations, Nav.
Thanks, Winger.
Teamwork, that one.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. I feel much better now to know that fish swam away after his swim bladder was properly released.
that's a whole other story. We'll come back to that again later. One of the first things we should talk about while we're out in Western Port, or anywhere where there's high tide flow, is the basics of bait presentation. First thing I'll talk about is the axis of symmetry and symmetry. Give you an understanding what that means, because we're going to use the term a lot in all our bait presentations that you see. Imagine getting a piece of A4 paper and folding it in half, so you have two equal halves to that paper and a crease down the centre. You've got two symmetrical equal shapes either side of that crease line, and that line becomes the axis of symmetry. Okay, two symmetrical pieces, axis of symmetry. Imagine all the baits that we cut, we try to actually pretend it's a piece of paper, and we actually try to imagine there's an axis of symmetry down every piece of bait. In other words, the left side of the bait and the right side of the bait are equal sizes and shapes. And the idea of that is we basically present the bait, we want to present our bait so that they do not spin in the current. If you pin your hooks down the centre line and you have equal sides and you do it correctly, and we'll show you that in a second, you'll actually be able to present your bait anywhere in Australia where there's current and it won't spin like a propeller. Okay, you have one side that's unequal or uneven, it tends to roll just like an uneven or a curved propeller blade. The most important bait we'll show you is the fillet bait. From this basic fillet bait, everything else evolves. Today I've got a beautiful cooter we picked up this morning. Okay, let's have a look at that little baby there. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to whip a fillet off. Just take off the fillet I need as I go. The first thing I'll do is I'll actually just take the back fillet off. Just slip the knife on like that, along the backbone and off at the tail. And what you've got straight away is the perfect symmetry bait. And the lateral line of the fish actually shows you the axis of symmetry. That side and that side are equally matched, equally sized. It's fresh, it's delicious. And how we present that, and this is the basics, this is why we call it basics. We get a 2-hook rig. We're also going to talk about rigs later on, but the top hook is fixed. It's a small 4.0 Gamakatsu octopus hook. The bottom is a 5.0 Gamakatsu octopus. And we basically pre-measure the length of that. The bigger hook sits right on the axis line and out again through the axis line, just like that. The top hook, which is your keeper hook, basically just pins in the top of the fillet. That becomes your toe point. Basically there you have a perfectly presented fillet bait. It's right down the axis of symmetry. That will actually sit in the current now and not spin, and as that fillet softens up in the water and folds back, it'll fold back towards the skin side like that. Alright, they always fold towards the skin. So there you go. Perfectly presented, clean, clear hooks, no fouling. That'll get a hook up every time and we know it won't spin. And that is the basics of bait presentation, the axis of symmetry bait presentation. It's going to work with everything we do, but that's a start. So right now, I'm thinking big. That's a 9 kilo fish weight out there for me. That was a run and a half, mate. What do you think of that run?
It's pretty impressive.
That was a big run, wasn't it? That absolutely screamed.
Coming back to the boat, is he?
Well, that's 100 metres out, hard to feel anything at the moment. So much flying out. That first run was insane. There's been a few bronzies around. You can't just do one big run like that and not give us a few more. You'll have to go again. mate, it's a big red.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Winger! Oh, Winger!
Oh my god,
You've done it!
20 pound
You've
snapper.
done it!
How was that for a run? That's 20 pounds, Charlie.
Oh mate, I'm happy for you.
Oh my goodness. Have a look at this baby. Oh! Yeah! I've been chasing that fish for 20 years. And I've come out with Charlie Micallef of all the people. We've never fished in Westerport together. And he's come out first trip and we've caught a monster. Charlie, is that the biggest snap you've seen this year?
Mate, I'm happy for you. That is awesome. That is awesome, mate. And that was one hell of a run.
That was a 50-60 metre run and he just used up all his energy on it.
Well, we thought it was a bronzy, didn't we?
That is huge. Had to put him on the lie detector, mate, to make sure.
Oh my god. Oh, that is absolutely gorgeous. What a day. He's done it. Ah.
Here, look at the lens, mate. Error. Can you see that in the lens? 90.9 at errors. That's 20 pounds, Charlie.
Woo! Yes!
Look at the size of that. Have a look at it.
Well, you said we were going to do it today, didn't you?
I did.
You did
I said
everything
we'll
right.
either hit or we'll miss.
You went out, you caught fresh squid yesterday at Mornington.
Caught a 5 kilo snapper on a soft plastic, and inside 8 to 12 hours I produced my biggest Westerport snapper of all time. That is an awesome 24 hours of fishing. That's big red, Melbourne style.
Well done.
Right, we'll get a couple of photos. I'm going to get this fish swimming. Let's go, Big Daddy. Let's go. You can do it. Come on. Come on, big humpy boy. Come on, big humpy boy. Do it for me, please. It'd be a damn shame to keep a fish this size. You can do it. You can do it. Lines are up. Good sign. His gills are pumping. Come on. That's a good kick. Yes! It's one away. Well, I just had to compose myself. I tell you what, that's a pretty special moment for me. I've been chasing big red for 20 years, and in the last 3 or 4 years I've been specifically targeting that big fish. I've had 5s, and I've had lots of 6s, I've had a 7 kilo fish, and they're all sort of getting a bit mundane, because when you've got your heart set on that big 20 pound fish, or a 9.1 kilo snapper, nothing else cuts it. Yeah, it was awesome to go and catch a 5.1 kilo snapper yesterday in Port Phillip Bay on a soft plastic, but to come out with a fresh squid, back your own beliefs, sit in an area where you know big fish run and not schoolies. It's very easy to go and sit over there in the channel and be tempted by 3 and 4 kilo fish, but no, we forego all that action in the hope of catching a big red. And guess what we've just done? We've just nailed a Melbourne 19.9 pound error on the scales. You saw it. That is just awesome. That's 20 pound snapper, guys. Alright, so we're out on Western Port again in search of big red. And today I'm lucky enough to have good friends on board. My little mate Ashley Micallef, gun angler, and his apprentice Charlie Micallef, who's standing right behind the camera right now. I promised these boys on the run I've been this year and last year that we're going to get them a big red. So before we go out to the big red grounds, what do we do every time we go fishing? We start off with no bait, we've got to go and collect the bait. And today it's squid, my favourite bait, calamari, southern calamari. It is just the best in my opinion for consistently being the key word, finding big red. First thing we do is we basically anchor the boat right along the weed drop off on the north arm, anywhere on the middle spit, Stony Point, Sandy Point, Sandstone Island, anywhere the grass weed banks drop straight off to the channel, that's where we want to position the boat. The tide change, high or low, is the time to be here, and the very important thing that we do straight away when we get here is we mulch up a big tin of burley, and in this case that's just mulched up rotten old pilchards out of the freezer from a while back. I'm basically going to put that in a pot, get it rattling, and let the scent run along the edge of the channel, and any squid between here and Stony or here and Sandy Point, depending on which tide, it's just going to pick up on that scent. It comes zooming into the boat like a feeding machine, find our silver whiting, which we're going to have placed under a float, and bang, that's all it takes. We just pull them into the boat, we get half a dozen of those, and we're off to the big red grounds. So let's just get into it. The first thing I can do now, I've mulched all these pillies up, is get them in the pot and get it shaken. And I would dare say, and I've thought about this a lot, somewhere between 50 and 70% of all the time I spend on the water and Warren is collecting bait. Now it sounds like a waste of time, but you know what? Some people spend their whole life fishing with frozen bait and never catch a 20-pound snapper. Yet Warren and I seem to be doing it more consistently all the time. So obviously our philosophies and our mindset and our disciplines are in the right order. Fresh bait. You don't need it to catch big fish, but it's certainly helpful for being consistent. Let's just get it out there. We just give it a rattle. Look at that beautiful, delicious burley coming out of that. And as that runs in the tide, the squid will just find it absolutely irresistible. Not much tide just yet, but as it turns to run in and the tide picks up, I find that is the best time to get the squid, at the end of the tide or just at the start of the tide. Tide change for squid. Simple whiting rig, through the mouth. Just poke it at the tail like that, so just got it at the tail. And just clip it on. Like that. That's it, let's chuck that in. That's basically about half a metre or so to a sinker, which keeps it near the bottom, but the current will actually break, pull it away from the sinker at parallel to the bottom like that in the current, and above the sinker we just have a float, a running float that runs up to a little locker like that, little plastic adjustable locker. Alright, so I can move that down when I want to adjust the depth. The idea is we want to set it within about 2 foot of the bottom. Alright, so basically I'm just going to basically the float sits at the back. I've adjusted it so that the line goes straight down to the sinker. It's about 3 foot off the bottom. Then from there the line runs back off the sinker at a 90 degree with the bait sitting in the current. It'll sit there and waft. Any squid comes along, comes and sees it, grabs it, eats it, gets stuck. And there we go. And that is big red waiting. Now Charlie, how long was that in the water, mate?
That's amazing, Winger. Look at the size of it. Ashley's up the front of the boat just nodding his head, saying, that's impressive.
Now that was in the water 30 seconds. On the tide change, that is well over a kilo. That's a beautiful squid. 1, 2, probably 15, 16 baits out of that. There you go. How quick was that, mate?
That's impressive.
And that is what we're after. That is big red bait.
So what exactly are we looking for here, Winger? What depth, mate?
Transom is sitting in 3.9, and you ask me why I don't turn it off, because I sit here watching it. The wind's blowing around, the boat's getting a bit fluky, the tide's stopping, the boat's yawing. We want to just make sure that the boat stays between 3.5 and 4.5 metres. Up on the bank it's 2 metres, over further it's dry, and on the drop off here it's 6 metres. So we want to be right on that very sharp drop off. The squid actually cruise along it. So at the moment, look, we've just swung around, it's gone to 3.4. Another one for the bag, mate. That's 2. A couple more of those. And we're laughing. Watch the float, watch the float, watch the float. Well, there we go. Under she went. Here it comes. It's a good fish. Bring her up. Right past the camera there. She's out the back there. There she is. There she is. And at the moment, I haven't even got it jagged. I can let it go and then give it a rip. The jig's not even in the fish. You see that? She's just fighting. Okay, get in there. It's a mess of lines. And another one. That bit there, and all that there. That bit there, and all that there. Big red. That's 3, mate. 3.5 an hour. Go. We've got 1.5 kilo squid. We've only got 4 till sunrise. We've got to make them last. Sharp, sharp knife. First thing we want to do is keep Charlie's pretty little boat clean. Sound familiar? We have to put a hand, have a look at it anyway. We have to put a hand up inside the hood, and we basically break the head away like that, and then we can pull the backbone out of the squid like that. The guts and the head all attached together. Now the bit that causes all the drama for us is a big blue shiny thing. That is the ink sac. Now I haven't got very long nails because I don't, but basically you grab it by the top and you just broke it. See it now, see that's just broken? If I pull him through, that's just going to burst all over the boat. So I'm going to just reach it over the side of the boat, just pull him off. Basically by doing that, we've kept the bait board immaculate. Now look at that squid head. It's too big to go on whole. A snapper would certainly hit it, he would certainly try and eat it. The problem we would have is getting a hook up. The hook up rate would be poor, because he couldn't get it right down. The chances are he'd sort of clamp his jaws on it, and as he ran away, the hooks could misconnect him with something. If we make that half the size, here we had to get that down at 10 kilo fish, you get that right down his gob, and when he hits strike pressure or drag pressure on the reels, he's going to get hook up, solid hook up in the jaw. First thing we're going to do is pull the beak out. So I've just basically pulled it out like that. Okay, there's the beak, just make a little incision behind. I'll just pull the beak out. Out she goes. Now, there's 5 head baits in this head. Okay, we're going to basically cut it just behind the eyes. Straight down like that. And that is squid gut. That is a bait in its own right. We'll show you presentations later. Then we're left with this beautiful thing. We cut it in half. There should be 10 tentacles, so there's 5 each side. Like that. Once we get it in half, we're basically going to just gently cut the head in half. Like that. Beautiful. Now that is more the size we're after. Problem is that's still too long. We want to reduce the strike area of the bait. So we're going to cut the feeler tentacle off, and that's a bait in its own right. Look at that, a feeler tentacle. And it's one of the best parts of the squid you can use too. It's amazing, every time I fish with Blakey we find ourselves fighting over that last squid tentacle. It has accounted for some big fish over the years. Sticky, the suction cups are just like sticking in my hand. So there's one bait. We'll get the other feeler tentacle off. 2 baits, 3 baits, 4 baits, 5 baits just out of the head. Alright. Each and every one of them just big enough to tempt big red, not too big to sort of confuse or reduce our hookup rate, and all just seductively fresh. Let's move on to the hood. Basically I just rip it out, turn it over like that. I grab the hood, I put my thumb and index finger and I squeeze them together. Once I do that, I can basically work my fingers around inside between the skin and the hood, and in one foul swoop skin that big beautiful hood. Skin, flap, gone. Look at that. Dry, clean, and perfect condition. These are hard work to come up with these. We don't want to just ruin it by just hacking into a knife. We want to make the best baits we can. We'll come back to the flaps in a minute. They are sensational bait as well. On one side of this, we've got there's just a little bit of residue on there. Now inside here we've got the plastic sort of backbone. On that side we're going to run the knife down that plastic, that way it won't run right through the other side of cut the other side. Open it up, and this one's a male squid, not my favourite. Prefer the females, they've got more smell to them. And just when you think back of all the big snapper I caught, I think most of them been on the female squid, although I'm still not going to complain. So we just give that a clean up best we can. In fact, I'm just going to rinse it in the water. And there we have it. That is how you prepare a squid hood for cutting strip baits. The strip baits have accounted for a lot of quality fish from me and Warren. First thing I do is just cut it in half. From this point on, I will cut strips the full length and no wider than about 20 mil. And let's face it, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide, all divided by 2. There's 14 baits just in the hood, plus 5, there's 19 baits, and I'm going to get another 2 baits off each flap. Let's have a look at the flaps. I mean, guys, what you're watching here is going to make you dangerous snapper fishermen. Alright, this is maximising your potential as fishermen. These are the 1%ers you're watching. It's one squid used in the best possible way. Now we've got the flap, we've got this thick gristly bit down the section. That is a sensational snapper bait. I basically just use the knife and cut the flap away from it. Like that. And there we go, we've got this, another 2 baits really. So we've got 25 baits roughly. You know, I cut that in half and I'm going to get 2 strip baits. Bang, voila. Actually on this one, because we're spoilt with so much quality squid here, I'm going to get 1 bait of it. And that's going to be one of my first baits that go on. Strip bait. There you go. That is how you get the most out of a big squid. Right, I've got to tie up, so I might as well show you my hook presentation with my baits and how I tie my knots and rigs. Basically I use a 60 pound jink lead. It's looking a bit old and a bit ordinary, but due for a new spool. I get 1 span of it. 60 pound, actually didn't see me do that. I had that tooth sharpened by the dentist, Charlie. Now I've got some 4.0 Gamakatsus. I use 4.0 in preference to 5.0 and 6.0 for a very good reason. They're extremely tough. I'm not going to straighten or break it on the tackle I'm using, which is 15 kilos, so they're tough enough. But by having the smaller hook, they have a finer wire, so they have a finer gauged wire, and a finer gauge wire means better hook penetration, a sharper needle, so to speak. So if a fish picks up the bait and a hook touches his lip or his jaw or anywhere on his face, just touches him with that razor sharp Gamakatsu point, basically as he feels drag pressure, it'll just drive in with no resistance at all. With 6.0s and 7.0 hooks, it takes a lot more force to get that needle in. So it's all about hook up, not just about getting a hit. So we're going to get 2 of those. I do use bigger hooks on different baits, but we're doing this specifically for strip bait. Now you can do all sorts of fancy knots on the bottom here, but I'm just going to do a standard locked blood knot. Go around about 8 times, through there, back through the main loop, like that, and then grab that tag and pull it tight. Alright, just pull it tight like that. Then before I nip it up tight, I'll give that other one there a yank, like that, and I just give it and it does not move. Trim the tag. Second hook, just a 4.0, just put it on like a sliding hook like that. Can you see it, Charlie? Basically run it right down with a strip bait. I want it pretty widely spread. That would be a genuine 4-inch gap between the top of one hook and the bottom of the other, or roughly 5 inches between the hooks. What I'm going to do is, as the line comes out there, I'm going to grab it, I'm going to start wrapping it back over the shaft of the other hook, alright, like this. Oops, it's hard to do. Hard to get it started, but once you've got it started, you basically wrap it down, as Warren would say, between 14 and 18 or 14 and 17 times. I've really got no idea, I've lost count, but I'll just keep going down, just level with there, and I'll grab it, and get the long end on the leader, and all I'll do is feed it back up through the top there, and pull it up tight. And that is so simple. The top hook is fixed, the bottom hook is fixed, easy to do. Right, on Jinkai, it's very soft and supple and doesn't have any torsion memory. With thicker, heavier set leaders, the hooks tend to want to turn like that and resist. And actually, what happens is when they sit in the current, they'll twist and actually sort of twist the bait into a curl and make it spin. This is very soft and supple. It's one of the reasons why we love Jinkai, other than it's very clear and very strong. So basically, now I just attach that to my rig. So my 15 kilo main line, 60 pound leader at about 1.5 metres. My running sinker clip here, obviously a very light droppers that I attach a sinker to. So here we go. Here's my squid strip. Basically I just pre-measure how long it's going to be, about there. The trick to doing a perfect squid strip is to put it to a dead centre in the symmetry of the bait. We've talked about symmetry before. And out, without actually breaking the other side. Alright. In fact, I'm going to move it just down a little bit. I can go down a little bit further. So it's out the middle like that. It's not quite in the centre, let's be fussy. Now it's in the centre. And the top hook just acts as a keeper. It's pinned right to the centre at the top, but I face it the opposite direction. And you see how I've got a bend in there? That is not quite right. That will actually cause some upset in the current. So I'm going to pull the top hook out again and push it down lower, about there, until it sits perfect. No bend at all. Now all I'm going to do is just trim that top tag off back to the hook. So it's just sitting pinned right on the tip like that, and that is your classic fresh squid strip. Big Red love it, absolutely love it. It was his pickers all night long. It was his sea lice, razor sharp Gamakatsu hooks. He comes along and goes, I love the smell of that, and hits it, and and you're in. One variation to this rig is to put a flasher rig or a glowing bead on the top here. I'm not going to do it on this one because I forgot, but I am going to put it on my others. So here we go, put a sync on, I'll get it out. Okay, that's when you use your 5Os, when you've got a big, thick, heavy set bait. The difference this time is, I've got the hooks just slightly closer to suit the bait. Once again, no fouling, and I've got a glow bead. Don't bother even putting it up to your lights to get that glow bead glowing, I've got a trick. Turn the camera on, get the flash up, put it right on the flash, fire. Fire, and that, if you have a look now, is glowing. You can just make out it's glowing. Alright, it's glowing hardcore. Only takes a couple of shots of the flash. Alright, I get that in. The idea of the glow bead is not for any other reason but to get their attention passing by. They might not be in the scent range, they might be swimming by, they'll see it, they go, what's that? They'll go and have a look. Geez, that smells good. Wham! Hooks are in. In like wing. And that's my 12 kilo fish right there. Make sure it's in gear and in the flat horizontal rod rack. 2 out, 2 to go. Before long, Ash was hooked up to his first ever Western Port snapper.
Look at that! Ashley James Micallef.
And although it wasn't what we'd come for, a 5.5 kilo snapper is a good way to open your Western Port account on your very first trip. What is it with these Micallefs and their maiden voyages? Before long, we were all getting into the action courtesy of the fresh squid. It was proving to be worth its weight in gold. Red gold. We started to realise it was going to be a good night. And it was. Plenty of decent reds ranging 4 to 6 kilos came our way despite the best efforts of the ravenous sea lice. But it would be another week on Charlie's third outing before he would catch a fish worthy of the title Big Red.
Whack that in the rod holder and come and get this thing. I think
Let him go, come back to me, we'll get this.
The colour on that's weird. It's really pink, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 2.5 kilos. 2.5.
Hooray! And it's another schooling. I don't know.
Another schoolie, he says.
I don't know where I am with this line. Where is it? There it is. We'll get rid of that. Snap, snap,
Are you telling me that that took a bait sitting next to the snapper snatcher.
He took a bait next to the snapper snatcher. I didn't make no schoolie, mate.
Put some drag on him, mate, because
Yeah, I was thinking that.
not too much. Because when you knocked it, you might have knocked the.
Bit of weight to it, winner.
Well, get him in, son.
Yep.
Look. That'd be right. You get the best fish of the day. I've done all the hard work.
These two curves are pretty big for me. Like 2 picks for you, but mate, I tell you, they got some grunt, haven't they? This is a good fish, winger.
Yeah, it is, mate.
It is. I reckon we get rid of that line a bit, mate, if we can. Or I'll do it. Let's have a look. Where's it going?
It reminds you of the bluefin trip, mate, when you ask him to put a gimbal belt on you.
When you're filming.
When I'm filming. You want me to move the rods, do you?
It just adds to it. I know that you're a bloke that likes the challenge, so that's why I asked you to put a gimbal on me and move the rods, you know, it's fine. As I was saying to my girl before, we've got some snapper for our barbecue tonight. Western Port, not Bay, but Western Port. Amazing stuff. I'll tell you what, Winger came here this morning with me and we had a little sneaky suspicion that this spot was going to be pretty good, and it's turned out, oh, what is it?
It's a big red.
Yeah,
Charlie.
it's a big red.
Charlie.
Oh my God.
Get it in the boat, mate.
Alright, that's not a bad fish, mate. I'm happy with that. How good's that?
You reckon you're happy with that, do you?
For Western Port?
You reckon you might be happy with that one? I think just about everyone in the bay would be happy with that fish, including myself. Now get him in the net, mate.
We're getting him in the net.
I don't think you are.
How good's that?
Charlie, that's 7 kilo snapper, mate.
How good's that?
That is a 7 kilo red.
I haven't caught any down rye this year. This is my first good size red, you know. Those fish we caught before are nice, but this is genuine. I'm all excited here. These are even bigger than the ones we caught the other night, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, mate. It's a 7 kilo snapper. Let me just say this, mate. You earned that fish today because you worked very hard behind the camera.
I did. Oh, Winger. Luck or what, I don't know, mate. I think it really is a case of fresh bait. You did it tough last night, mate. I know you did. Down at Mornington, catching squid.
Out till 11 o'clock. I didn't catch the squid. Didn't get home till 12. By the time I tied all the rigs and got to bed, it was 1 o'clock. Just for you to wake me up at 3 to come out and do it all again.
No frozen stuff, mate. I'll tell you that, and I think that's what's done it. But how good are these sound, Winger?
Not bad considering in 6 metres of water we marked up a couple of ticks. 6 metres of water, broad daylight, and here we are, fresh bait producing monster fish like that. That's just incredible, Charlie. Fantastic, mate. And what a way to round out a fantastic day.
It's been a fantastic day. 4 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We caught a few pinkies, as you saw. But to tell you what, that's the cream on the cake. I mean, I'm wrapped, mate. Thank you very much, Winger.
Just got to wait for one of those floats to go down. Tell you what, it's now time to get fair income. Tomorrow is the biggest snapper competition in Australia. That's right, tea tree, and I'm in it. And I live, eat and breathe tea tree. Every year I take one holiday, and it's the week leading up to this very special comp. I've never won it. My mate Warren has, Wazza. You know, it's a dream of mine to win this, and you know what? I take it very, very seriously. And today I'm out all on my own, looking for fresh bait. And that's why I take the week off. Just concentrate on learning where the fish are, make sure I've got a supply of fresh bait, and I believe that having fresh calamari or fresh cooter might make the difference between me getting a 20-pound fish or a 10-pound fish. It means that much to me, and I'm prepared to put aside the whole day. And I've been out here a few hours, and I haven't found it easy. The water's very, very dirty. You know what? If I burley up here and let the current run right past Tankerton down there, you know, any squid crossing that path will come flying straight up, find my 2 whiting under the floats, and bang. So here we go. The road to tea tree begins Thursday. Wazza, if you catch a big fish on my squid, just remember the hard yards that Winger done, buddy. Hey! Tea tree, here we come. Is that going to get me my big one? Well, at the beginning, that's a start. It's gone straight back down again. Straight back out in the water. That's another one. That's a good squid. Have a look at this. That's what we're after. Have a look at the colours of that beautiful bird. Fresh calamari. Southern calamari. The best eaten fish in the world. They're far too valuable to snapper bait. And 10 times more valuable when the water's dirty and brown the day before tea tree. Not too many people will be able to get these today. That. Oh, there's a couple down. Tell you what, we've already got enough fresh bait to catch a fish, but if we get 4 or 5 more of those, or even more, even better. Got a barb in him, he's just taken off. Fingers are like drags, you've got to let the line slip through your fingers. Tea tree, here we come, Wobbler. I always have a decoy jig out in the rod sitting just behind the back of the boat. So if you pull one in on a hand line and he has a partner, he sees the decoy and grabs it. And that's what's happened here. And it's a big one. Oh. You know what, squid fishing is as much fun as snapper fishing. Especially in Western Port when they're all the horses. mates of mine like to call them ranches. That's where they belong, on a ranch. Ho ho! Big enough for net. Another monster, have a look at that. 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 kilos. It's a beautiful big thing, look at it. Squid strips, squid head. We'll keep this absolutely immaculate right through the night. And what we don't use for bait is going in the fry pan. Jeez, how lucky are we as Aussies to be able to just come out in our own backyard and just catch quality like that. I love to be Australian, I love being Australian, and thank you God. That is just magnificent. And I dare say if you're watching this right now, it means that you're probably about to watch something very special at Tea Tree.
This has just made a good 30-metre run. Winger's been out here the last 2 days doing the homework for the tea tree. And we've been out here probably 6 hours now, and we've just had our first hit. This is a good fish. This is what tea tree fishing's all about. Actually managed to catch a cooter. And come on the cooter head.
What was it hit like? It's just like I said, wasn't it?
No, it just took off. There we go, a little bit of colour coming. Just out in the back there.
What is it, mate?
It's a red.
Knocking around, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, do you want me to go do you need the net or do you want to go get it yourself?
Oh, I'll do it all myself, mate.
Do it all yourself. Good on you, mate.
Here we go, we've got a bit of colour.
Got a few lines there, mate, but it's a very good fish, isn't it?
Beautiful fish.
Cut those lines, mate.
Oh,
The fish is too big to muck around. Cut those lines.
yeah.
Oh, he's a good fish. Well done, Mr. Carter.
There we go.
Nice fish, mate.
Yeah, nice fish, Winger. Probably about a 5.5 kilo fish, but fishing tea tree, it's not going to be the fish that's going to win the comp, mate. We're actually looking for bigger fish, but when you're fishing fairly shallow, most of your fish tend to start at this size and go up, so this is really only a little puppy. But a nice fish in anyone's book.
Well, you talked about us hit and miss fishing, and we're prepared to miss tonight. in order to catch that big one. So this is just a bonus. It's not a big fish, but it's a beautiful size eating fish, and I thought sure Rach should be happy with that one, mate.
That's right, Winger. We are out here, and to chase the big fish, you've got to be prepared to go fishless. Dead right.
A lot of people don't understand that, but it's so true.
Yeah.
It's hit or miss fishing. Anyway, mate, let's get some baits back in the water. Well done. Tea Tree 2007. I took a week off work and I've come out and I put 5 or 6 days into learning where the snapper are. Yesterday, Thursday, when I collected 8 big fresh squid on my own, ready to meet up with Wazza and come out and chase big red. Now we're in the catch and release section of the comp, which means technically we can't win the comp outright, but our goal is to catch a 20-pound snapper on film in Tea Tree and release it. Hopefully God has given us that fish right now. I tell you what, it's a big red. We're up off light starts, we're fishing very, very shallow. On the bottom of the tide, it's around midnight. And this fish has just absconded at high speed with a squid head. And I can tell you, it's a big fish. Don't want to put too much load on him. Oh yeah. My heart's pounding. Carter, it's a big fish.
Good fish, is it?
It could be a 20, mate. It's going to go close.
How are those lines looking?
Well, there's only 4 lines out, and there's this one here which is a bit of a worry.
Well, mate, you're on your own because I can't do a thing to help you.
I know. Might take that chair up. Good thing with these folding chairs, we can fold them up, which allows me to run up to grab the net, which is up the back, the front of the boat. While the fish is still out 30-40 metres, and in the current, I know if I keep that there, it'll keep the line tight. I've got my net ready, and I'll put it just there ready to go. Tell you what, it's a big fish. I'm making no.
That's what we come here for, Winger.
For us, it's about big fish. There's hundreds of boats off Lysarts. There's probably 800 boats in Port Phillip. They're all hoping for a big fish too, but they're playing the numbers game. A lot of you guys, a lot of people are happy to catch 15, 20 fish and hope they get a 5 or 6. We've already done that tonight. It's just one fish, but our mission, and we're prepared to go fishless to do it, was to come up, set up on our own and chase big red. I live for this moment. It's not the first 20-pound I've had on. I'm telling you, it's a very awesome snapper. It's a very big fish, was.
It's good, mate, that's good.
When I call colour in, oh, those big head knocks. When I call colour in on this fish, you look in that water and you're going to see something special. How many minutes of tape we got going, mate, there?
31.
Left, or 31 in?
31 in.
Yeah. I'm not putting too much on him. I do not want to pull the hooks. You don't know how well you got him. Oh, oh, oh.
Gonna bring you to your knees.
Oh, oh. Can you see these head kicks? Watch it. Oh. I've got the drag just set. I'm happy just to get back an inch at a time. There we go. Wind the slack line down. Just easing back through the strong current. Oh, I think I just saw a hint of colour. A hint, but I won't call you in yet. Oh.
Oh mate, what a fish.
This is a big snapper. Big enough for you, was it?
That is big, mate. I'll tell you what, that is going to go 20 pound, mate.
Mate, I almost want you to help me with this one. It's too big to lose, Kaz, mate. Put that up there. Put it up there. And let it roll. See it in the water with the camera. I'm going to steer him into you, right? He's just down there. We'll have a go, isn't he? Oh my goodness.
That is a fish.
Oh my goodness, we've done it. We've done it.
Watch it right there. Take that rod out before you lose it.
Seriously?
That is 20 pound, mate.
Sea tree 20 pound snapper. Have a look at that, mate. All those hard yards, mate. With me coming out all week collecting squid on my own, while you were working away doing the ruse. But I knew we'd meet up, and he wasn't going anywhere, mate. He is a big, big fish. That's tinky eyes. That's tinky eyes fish, Carter.
Mate,
What do you think?
I tell you what, I think it's better than 10, mate.
You think it's better than 10?
I think it's better than 10. I've got one on my wall at home that's about 10.2. Oh, sorry, 10.4. And that fish is 23 pound, mate.
Oh, it is heavy. Have a look at that. Oh. Salty Dog Films brings you Big Red, Melbourne style. And that is what it's all about. That is one big fish. And I'll tell you what, I could probably take that into the weigh-in and be the tea tree champion tomorrow. You know what? I'm releasing this fish, and that footage will be priceless. God gave us this fish to show that we can enjoy this species. Look at it, touch it, kiss it. It is absolutely massively heavy, Warren. It's every bit of 9 or 10, 11 kilos. I'm going to get the scales out, mate. Yep. I'll tell you what, have a look at that little bead there, halfway along his body. Little fluoro bead, see it? Just here.
Yeah, we got it. Yep.
That was, I lit that up about 5 minutes ago in the light and put it out. Wow. I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to put the video camera down, we're going to get a couple of quick photos, and then we're going to release it for the camera. Let's go, Carter. Time's off the essence, mate. Here's the big test, ready? Put them on the scales. Oh, error. Easy error. Straight off error.
Mate, that's over 20.
That just errored. See that? Error. That means 19.9 that goes to error. This fish is in excess of 20 pound. Not bad, mate, eh?
Mate, that is just magnificent. I'm shaking behind the camera.
Alright, one thing left to do, mate. My hat says it all. Think big. That's what I did. This is what I got. Now, last thing to do is get this big boy swimming. Get the water running through his mouth and over his gills, like that. And I don't care how long it takes. If it takes 5 minutes, I'm going to get this. Yes, yes, yes. He's kicking. Yes. Come on. Yes. Yes. Yes.
There you go, 10.2 kilo fish, thereabouts. I reckon that's what the weight of that fish is. It's going to swim another day.
Yeah, yes, he's kicking, Carter.
It's good, mate, that's great. It's what we want to see.
Yes. Come on, mate. There we go.
Oh, that's good.
Good kick. Do it again, mate. Yes! Yes!
You
Yes! Just think about what happened. Just think about what happened here. Thank God. What you've just seen is 10 kilo of the finest snapper I've ever seen in my life. Just swim away into the darkness. Yeah, what a feeling, mate. That was a strong swim, mate. It took me 15 minutes.
15 minutes, mate. You persevered. I thought the fish was gone.
One gave up on it, and I actually was thinking about giving up, and I said, no. No, he kept kicking. Every time I brought him in the water, he kicked again, and I turned him backwards and he went kick, kick, kick. I let him, pushed him go, and he just soared off into the darkness. Wow. That's a godsend.
Mate, well done. That is something to remember for the rest of your life.
Well done, mate.
Well done.